Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Books and Betches. I'm Kristen, and with me I have
Erica.
Maria.
Okay. This is a book podcast. We swear, we spoil. We talk about sex. We suck at podcasting. And this week, we're doing something we've never done before.
I need to read your name.
I don't know what kind of book this is.
It's a nonfiction.
I mean, it's like a standard nonfiction. We've done biographies.
It's not a biography, but it's a nonfiction.
We haven't done anything like this.
I don't know what this is.
It's a nonfiction.
We have not done anything like it.
Nah. It's not nonfiction, but there needs to be a better subgenre for it.
Guys, it's fiction. It's nonfiction.
I know. What are you talking
I know,
about?
but it needs
The first word in genre.
It needs
nonfiction,
a subgenre.
psychology, history, sociology.
Perfect.
History, psychology.
That's what I was asking for.
Okay, I did it.
Fight. Yes. You guys never fight.
That's like literally like saying like the Throne of Glass series is a fiction novel.
Sure is.
What kind of fiction?
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm with you 100% on this one, Maria. Fuck you,
Fuck
Erica.
you.
You guys usually fight more than I do,
okay.
so this is rare.
This episode, we're talking about the book Cultish.
By Amanda Montell.
Oh, fucking on it. I love
That's
you.
why I opened it. Well, Cultish, the language of fanaticism.
Also a podcast.
Yes, she has a podcast called Sounds Like a Cult.
People said that they listen to her podcast. They love it. And the episodes that she's had about cults have been really
She's
cool.
done one on Book Talk.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's kind of why I started listening to her. I was like, ooh.
And she has one on WWE.
Does she?
Honestly, fucking genius because you can talk about anything. I think
For cults, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a
Good
difference.
podcasts.
I think there's a difference between cults and communities. I think the definition of cult, as she mentions in this book, is hard to describe. So I think we can't do a 60-second on this because it's literally a nonfiction history book. I think we dive right into what the book is about.
Overall, she just discusses how language within cults is what's the most sort of impactful and what,
I think that's
really
the most important
affects
thing,
people.
that this whole book is about language.
Yeah.
And how words matter. Mm-hmm. Right?
How words matter, but how you get sucked into like systems and situations with people who can talk really well.
My biggest thing, like I mentioned at the beginning, is cult versus community. What justifies a cult? It's hard to define cult.
Those were some things that jumped out at me was like, there's no true definition of a cult.
Because this whole book talks about, we go from like the Moonies or the Jonestown? The Jonestown. Like these to me, that's cult. That is fucking cult.
Children of God.
Then we go
what's
into
the line?
fitness with, like CrossFit and stuff like that.
Yes.
So,
And then you do the MLMs and the pyramid schemes.
By the end of the book,
companies in general.
By the end of the book, I think she does also say basically like there are good cults, there are bad cults. There is a line.
The line is like, can you walk away and at what cost is it to walk away?
Yes.
Yeah. And if it's not that big of a deal to walk away and you can easily walk away, like it's not bad.
Right.
So it's kind of like,
what kind of repercussions are you dealing with once you try to walk away?
And I think that is like a really high level way to look at it, but I think that that's the right way to look at it with knowing how wide and vast the grouping of cult actually is and like how it's used in society today.
Right. And I think we could break the conversation down too into buckets, kind of like how she
I think
did,
we should.
Where there's the MLM side, there's the gym fitness side, and then there's the fucking religious.
So I want to talk about one thing that I think she got really, really wrong in this, is a little bit disappointing. Basically, I don't remember the researcher that she named, but like when she talked about brainwashing not being a thing.
I thought that too. I'm with you. Yeah.
It was like a random study by a random lady and people were like, that's not true. And she was like, oh yeah, my bad. Like, it's like not.
So when I was listening to that,
that is not verified.
I said out loud, I was like, there's no way. Like I talked a lot to this book, even though it wasn't listening. There are a couple things that I disagreed with.
That's not a verified thing. And do I think you throw the whole kitchen out with the kitchen sink? No.
Yeah.
I think that
Genuine mistake.
Made a mistake in this book, and I do think, and it was a really quick section. She didn't really hash it.
She also covered a lot.
She covered a lot.
There's so much in this book.
I disagree vehemently with the brainwashing thing. And then I also, one other thing that I do want to mention in this is like, she talks a lot about like situations that happen and like or things that happen factually.
Yeah.
And then she puts her own opinion to it.
Yes,
right?
correct.
Like this is something that had Jonestown happened. These are the facts around it. This is what I think based, and she didn't say it, I think this, but like the book is her basically giving her opinion about what she has interpreted.
Sure.
With cults and
Yes.
like knowing what she knows about cults. All of
Yes,
these
'cause her
stories,
father was in a
friends,
cult.
Her, like,
Yeah.
so all these
Grandfather.
situations are,
No, fine.
and this is her interpretation of it. And I think people in the reviews got that kind of mixed up. And in that, like, they were thought that this would be like a scholarly journal about it. Like
Yeah.
I found the reviews to be very harsh in a way that like didn't make sense for what the book actually was, which in my opinion is a pop psychology 101 on cults.
Especially
like,
if she has a podcast.
It's like
what do you
high
expect?
level.
It's like if you had just read an article off of like
Cosmo.
Yes.
Like this is an extended
Which she was
Cosmopolitan
I think she
article.
is or was a freelance writer in that kind of
Like
space.
a lot of voice, a lot of personality,
Yeah.
a lot of like
She NPR, part of NPR?
No idea.
Oh, I wasn't
but
sure.
like I think going into this book, like you have to know that this is not a dissertation.
Right.
Like it's not a college theory paper. It is like a thesis. It's not like this is genuinely like just somebody fucking reading a bunch of shit about cults and then being like, this is what I think.
Yeah, and she puts
Which
her
is
own
what everyone does on
experiences.
social media now anyway.
She puts her
Yeah.
own experiences in there too, like the time that she went to a
I think
Scientologist.
it's all like logically
Yeah.
like done
Yeah.
out, but again, it's still like her interpretation
Right.
of what
Absolutely.
these things are.
I think the book was kind of the biggest issue that I had with it, and it was driving me nuts, is the amount of time she said, we'll talk about that later. And I'm okay.
There's a couple of reviews.
I'm
that said
okay.
that.
I didn't read any of the reviews. for
Yeah,
the
I
first
didn't
time
either.
ever. But
The first time ever I did.
wow. And I'm cool with like that occasionally, but it got to the point where I was like, we got to talk about it now, girl. Like you're killing me with
That's
the
one of the things I
later.
really don't like
Yeah.
in books.
I didn't
is
think
the
it
whole
was
like
structured
we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
It's like it's as if you're like seeing a table of contents on a blog post.
Like, don't edge me.
I thought it worked a few times. Like
Yeah.
I understood it
The
a few
structuring
times.
was weird.
Or if it's like, let's say she's mentioning a specific type of cult and there's several of them, but then she's going to be diving more into that said cult later.
Yeah.
She'll be like, we'll visit them again in part 6.
The only time I felt like she really dove into one thing was MLM. It
Yes.
felt like
That
the
felt like
whole
that was
beginning
really-
was hodgepodge,
Yes.
kind of all over the place. MLM, we went fucking in
Yep.
on MLM and
Yeah.
kind of repeated a few things. And then at the end, we briefly talked about like fitness and stuff, and that kind of stayed together. It was that whole like beginning where I was like, all right, where are we going? Where are we going?
I felt like, is this just a long introduction? Like,
yeah, but
Yeah.
the chunk of the novel felt like
Yeah.
it was MLM, which I do not give a fuck about, to be honest with you.
I love.
I know
you
too
watched
many
the
baddies.
LuLaRoe?
Okay, fuck off
Prime
LuLaRoe.
doc?
All of my leggings are from LuLaRoe. Am I
She
a bad
actually
person?
has them.
So
But
this is
watch the
crazy.
documentary on Prime.
They're
for LuLaRoe.
$10.
So this is what's fucking crazy,
And they
and
last.
I've actually seen a couple videos on this recently.
Canceled.
Is like there are some MLMs where the products were really good, and like think of like when she talked about this like Tupperware, right?
Yeah.
Like Tupperware, Pampered Chef, LuLaRoe.
When she
like,
mentioned Tupperware, the first thing I thought of was the
Tupperware?
uncle from Napoleon Dynamite
Yeah.
having his like taking Kevin, I think his name was Kevin, with him to go sell, and he's like, "Here, try to bend
I didn't
this
know
plastic."
Tupperware
And she's
was
like,
a-
Tupperware was a Pampered Chef.
Yeah.
Like all these, like
I have a
there's
question.
really good
Was
products.
Avon? Do you remember
Yes.
Avon?
Yes,
Avon
My
is.
mom had an Avon lady.
You still see those
Avon,
Mary Kay pink
Mary
trucks
Kay.
up
And
there.
I called her the Avon lady.
But this is what I'm talking. This is what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
some of these products were actually really good.
Yeah.
So like it didn't feel like the scam that it was.
Right.
Because the products were worth the money.
Yeah.
And people liked like doing Tupperware parties. That was like a cultural thing that women did to get together and do a social event at that time back then.
She touched on like little things that I was like, I wish you explained that more.
like just like I wish
like she talked about, she
you
was
know,
like,
I've heard somebody say, I wish they double clicked into that.
okay, and I have a great example for something like that. She briefly was like, MLMs ruined communities. Look at Albania. And then she kept talking. And my friend is from Albania. She moved here when she was like 10. So I hit up Anna and I was like, hey, Anna, like, did you know about, she goes, my people are some of the toughest fucking people. There's no way. So I Googled it. I was like, girl, an MLM almost took down your government in the 90s. And she wrote LMAO. I can't wait to read this book. And I was like, well, she didn't give any information on it. I just Googled it. So I was like, that would have been sick to like learn about. And I'm like, did she just Google some stuff and like didn't dive in? I don't know.
Maybe she didn't have enough knowledge on it to be able to like put that in there.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's also kind of like a sidebar conversation. Like she didn't talk about. I mean,
yeah, but the sidebars we has with her friends that were all in MLMs, and we have to hear their stories.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I agree. There was sometimes where I like wish we could have like pinned
just
in
a little more
to that, but like I thought the MLM conversation was actually really insightful, and I think she did a really good job with that aspect because like. There is a lot to it, right?
Babe.
Like
that was like a trigger for me.
Again, it was crazy.
The main thing about this book is the language.
Yes.
Right? Like I think it was such an interesting look at.
I do too.
All that language from all these different sects of cults.
Yes.
Right? I think one of the first lines
like
speech is the first thing we're willing to change about ourselves. And also the last thing we let go. I thought that was really interesting way of putting it.
Scientology. I watched a video of a guy that wore the glasses and he made it all the way to signing the $1 billion contract. You guys should watch this shit.
Oh my God.
Literally.
Wait, what is it?
It's on YouTube. Real footage of this dude from his glasses. He was wearing the Meta?
Meta?
And it was a while ago. And the first thing that they did was they sat in a room and this guy repeated the same things. He was like, touch your head, touch your head. And then it was like, I forget what he said, but it was like, throw your head. And they just kept having to like say it back and forth. And I was like so curious about it. And I read the comments are like, that's how they get people. That's how you start brainwashing is you just keep getting people to repeat things. And then they have their own language. One of the coolest parts of the book.
That part was really
She
cool.
literally was like, here's an example of two Scientologists talking to each other. See if you can understand any of it.
And you don't.
So
No.
you guys
She
know
explained it,
my
but-
favorite podcast is Last Podcast on the Left.
Oh, I love that podcast.
They did a whole series on Scientology. I think it's like a 5-part series.
It's crazy.
And so when I read that conversation, I understood all of it because
I understood
all
most
the
of it
stuff that
too.
they were talking about. Also, if you
Leah
remember
Remini.
Leah Remini,
Yeah,
she had a
really-
series.
I've watched
on
every
AMC.
single one of them.
I've watched every episode of the Leah
Every
Remini
single
series.
so
one.
sad.
It is sad.
It's extremely sad. Mike Rinder also, his story is pretty sad, even though he did some fucked up shit
right.
within Scientology. Scientology to me is such an interesting little
It's
cult.
the saddest one to me because they drain all of your money.
Yeah, it's evil.
It's really fucked up. I'm gonna send you guys the video, but the guy even like made a thing where he was like, well, I don't have enough money for this book, so I'm gonna like steal my buddy's PS5, and they were like, okay. It's like, bro, how are you okay with that? That's crazy.
I think the craziest thing for me is like Scientologists in Hollywood.
Yep.
Because it's like, of all of the things to boycott, it's like boycott Scientologists. Like boycott their fucking work.
There's
like,
also a guy on Instagram that stands outside of the Scientology building, and anytime somebody
Yeah.
tries to go in, he goes, it's a cult! It's a fucking cult! And he's like,
I mean, I've passed
Like
by the
Elizabeth
actual
Moss?
buildings like in the city.
Yeah.
And I was like, I ain't touching that. Y'all
No.
are a cult.
But I am interested.
Elizabeth,
No, that's how they get you.
no. Elizabeth Moss, like I stopped watching Handmaid's Tale. I was like, there's no
She's a
fucking
Scientologist?
Yes. How the fuck do you get up and do this fucking
Show.
show and be a Scientologist?
Oh, that's what I also want to talk about is how much connection there was to corporate world and some of these things, like the slogans, the language.
That was the most
specifically.
interesting thing to me because I like Indeed was a cult. Like they do that.
I think all
and
corporate is.
No, I the company I'm at right now, absolutely fucking not. The company that
But
I've
I mean
been
like
at,
corporate, like big companies that are
I
like
see finance
I don't
stuff
think
as
tech
a
bros.
cult.
I don't know.
I think tech, but I
Silicon
think
Valley,
tech is.
like
Yes.
all that. Yeah.
I think they are.
Yeah.
So I worked at Indeed for 7 years, and when I tell you you drink the Kool-Aid, you fucking drink the Kool-Aid, and it is the best experience to be part of like that situation, and I think she really hit the nail on the head. When she talked about this at the very beginning of like people having decision fatigue and like not wanting people to just tell you
them what
to do.
Yes.
And I think
Go to the army.
especially in your work day, it's like your brain is working in overdrive, and it's like, oh, I just need you to tell me what I need to do. And
Yeah.
like, that's like, Indeed we help people get jobs. Every single thing we did was to help people get jobs. So like every decision you made it goes back to that. And I was like, this is like, I got addicted to it. Like I loved working for a company like that. I want to work for a company like that again. They're hard to get into those types of companies, obviously.
I mean, I remember your interview process for that company was intense.
Yeah. And like, it still is, and it's still difficult to like work there. But, like I really, like, again, like it's not a bad experience. So it's like, it's hard.
That's one of the good ones.
I got to talk about mine. You got
a different one.
I'm not going to tell you the name of the company. You won't find it on my LinkedIn.
Really?
Yeah, I took it off. I took everything off.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I worked at this company for 6 months, okay? And when I started there, I knew immediately I was in a fucking cult.
I didn't know it was only 6 months.
Oh, yeah, I got the hell out of Dodge. Here's
like a year.
Here's the thing.
It felt like several.
It's a religious company. I am not a religious person. I tried. I did.
Spiritual? I liked how she talked about that too.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm really not.
I very much resonated. I am that buffet.
We'll talk about that when we get to workouts.
I try, but I think my brain is just not like built for it. But either way, so at this job, every morning they would do like a devotional. Like we would go into a hall, we would like talk about the Bible and like all the people that were helping. There are chants that they do. Girl, you have no idea. You have no idea.
The way that I would not have lasted a week.
I can't believe I did. They wouldn't let like men and women go on trips together. Like if we were filming something, they would be like, "Oh, you can't
separated.
Be in the same Airbnb. You can't." And you know me, I'm from fucking like this area. I'm like, "Yo, what? We're adults. What are we talking about here?" And they're like, "Oh, if your boyfriend comes and visits, he's not staying with you, right?" Why do they care? How is that their business? I knew right away that this shit was fucked. Found one other girl at this company that was like, this is weird, right? Became best friends with her.
I love her.
So we were able to stay on like the outside of it, but watching it is crazy. The amount of times these people are like, we're not in a cult. Like, if you're saying that, then you're in a fucking cult. So I did that for 6 months. And when I left, I was like, that was a really weird time in my life, but I'm glad that I went through it because I could see how easy people get manipulated by that feel-good feeling of like, we're helping
being
people.
part of something and helping people and like like where I think Indeed is doing the good like work and like there's no I don't think there's a negative like situation at Indeed.
Yeah.
It so easily can turn into like toxic because you've got people hooked.
That's the one thing though. They were like so gung-ho on like work-life balance. Like we are in here at this time and we're out at this time. You do not stay
but
later.
Like, what's the negative? What was the negative there?
It's the advice that they're giving now that I've seen.
Okay.
That's the negative to me because I think that they're not.
You don't think
open.
they're trying to help people anymore?
I think they're trying to help people, but I think that they're being very misguiding in certain things.
For what purpose though?
I don't know because they're stubborn and they're capitalists.
It's money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's money.
Yeah.
Like, let's say how it is. It's money.
It is. It's money.
But how do they make money off that?
You know how many courses they sell?
Courses and shit like that.
I didn't realize.
Do you know
that
how much they sell?
Yeah.
I didn't realize those courses.
And then every sponsorship they get to have for all of their programs that are hours and hours long.
That's the thing,
so you're
though.
listening to
But, like,
so
that's
many
a good
ads.
point where you're like, is it bad? This is where I think we come back to like the religious side, like Christianity. We talk about that in the book. Like, is it a cult and is it bad? I don't know. Like,
so this book actually changed my thought on religion.
Really?
That's
how so?
Ooh.
I did rate this book 5 stars because of this specifically because it changed my perception of what's good and what's bad.
I want to hear this.
Ooh, please tell me what your first perception was and what changed.
So I've always been very anti-religion. I was raised Roman Catholic. I've gotten confirmed.
Same.
I did.
I didn't do confirmed.
I didn't get confirmed, but
I've
I got
done my sacraments up until marriage. Basically, technically I'm married, but like not in the eyes of the church. I am getting my children fucking splashed with water, but it's not for me. But I always found, especially the Catholic Church, to be evil.
Yes,
like at its core. Like
absolutely.
hiding pedophiles, like just hiding, like being parts of some of the worst like massacres in the fucking world. Like they're part of such evil parts of our world history, and all of it has just been like rooted in like this power grab. And I've always seen people who are religious to like agree with that. You have like to some degree you have to like swallow that to like be part of it. And I've always found that to be like the brainwashing part of it is like you are like just conditioned to do this and like
I don't even call it brainwashing, I call it indoctrination. They're just
you've just ignored it, right? Like but what this book made me think about is that it's not the religion that is evil. It's the people.
And that's how I feel.
I at my core, it always felt like religion was a means to control people.
Yeah, that's what I think is evil.
I don't think Christianity or even Catholicism is evil. It's what's happening within the politics of it. And like,
yes,
I think I need to like remove
the
two things like so deeply.
That's where I'm at.
They're so entwined with me.
But the Bible is so...
But the Bible is written by men.
I know.
And that's where it comes down to.
But if we go all the way back...
My thoughts are that. I've always been that. I grew up Catholic, and Dad will know this because he's going to listen to this.
Yeah.
The weekly fights I had with my mom. Because my face was always... I was angry every time I was in that church. I hated going... I don't like going to church. Even now, if I have to go with my mom, because she's very religious, I don't like going. Yeah. I don't like the idea of all of it because it's run by flawed humans.
Yeah.
And flawed humans are the ones that are going to create the bad decisions to continue having their power. I have an issue with mission trips.
Yeah, but to me, humans created God. Like, that's how I think.
Sure.
Like these stories they came from.
But it's all fucking fake.
Exactly. That's what
I think
it's all fake.
It was all created in a way to keep people behaving well.
Sure. And it worked. And it fucking worked.
Until it gets to a point
today where nobody's fucking religious anymore. Now we got
No. Now we have too many. Now you have too many belief systems.
Yeah.
Because
we don't
have good
values anymore.
There's so many
wants to
different
think
gods.
they're better than others, and they create their sects and their issues and their like stuff. But that's where I'm at with it too. I can't like fault the religion itself fully. I fault the people behind it.
But to me, like people made religion, so that's why I'm like, I just think it's all bad. Personally,
I think what was back then is not what is now. And people now make it worse because
I think it's always been so bad though.
It's
caused wars. Like most
everything causes wars, and it's just for power.
But every war is caused by religion.
It's a reason behind it. It's like we're using this as our way of in. We're gonna call it. It's a war for God, but truly, I just want your land.
That's how it like. That's how why this book like kind of made me think about it, and like it's not necessarily the religion, the religious aspect, the ceremony, the like you know what I mean. People are looking for like consistency and community and like these, you know what I mean? They're looking for these things, and like I'm looking for these things, and I really resonated. And we just touched upon this, like about her talking about, especially the millennial group is looking for that spirituality.
Yes. I want to start a cult so bad, but I don't want it to be a cult. No, I just want. I've been saying
but
this
that's
forever.
what like the non-denominational churches are coming in, right?
That I want a church that has nothing to do with religion, where we all get together.
Then don't call it a church.
But I think that's
non-denominational. No.
They still talk to God, I think.
Yeah, no, I want something where we all get together and it's like, these are the things that suck and they're bad. And it's not even like toxic positivity. I don't even want to be like, we just got to like take it by the horns. I think we just want people to be real and a place for people to go where we can like connect and like.
But that's what I think some of these like workout groups are.
Yes. Yeah. And once we get to the fitness part,
and that's why I think
I will discuss more.
Necessarily a problem. When we talk, we should get into fitness because I do think that the overconsumption side of these fitness cults is the biggest problem.
Do you guys know the term
goes hand
third
in hand?
place?
No, it has not died down.
And how she mentioned that, I think she mentioned in the sentence like
we don't have third places anymore.
We do not because of COVID. COVID ruined third places. So
people to hang out, people to like just kind of
a quick description of third place. It's like you have your home, you have your job. There's that third place that everyone goes to hang out.
The mall, like,
yes, those places that everyone comes together and has a good time. COVID has ruined that. Our third space sort of became the internet in the wrong way, in my opinion. But gyms and the wellness industry, and especially amongst millennials,
how much money they make when she's
has boomed in a way that I never anticipated to boom this way. And I'm a heavy consumer of it.
Yeah.
As you guys know, I change gyms often. I've been at my gym now 2 years. And that's
what kills me is the fits. Like people get into like the gym fits and they all dress the same.
They're allowed to dress how they want, but that's the trend.
But they all dress the same.
The Gymsharks,
they
the
eat the
Lululemons.
same. They do this.
Yes.
To me, that's the side of the cult where I'm like, okay, now we're just into the overconsumption side of it.
I don't
everything.
know if it's like overconsumption.
Dude,
I just think it's like high school again, where it's like you're just trying to fit in.
She's wearing Jordans.
But
you want to wear
for
Jordans.
you to buy a million of the like every water bottle ever known. I've watched so many videos.
That's like
I think
different.
it's part of that culture.
But again, are you watching people who are making it their job?
What do you mean? Like the gym?
Like influencers.
Yeah, I mean
that's their job.
But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like,
not everybody's an influencer.
But so many. My biggest fear used to be dying in a fucking plane crash, and now it's being caught on somebody's TikTok at the gym. That is my biggest fear. Like I'll look around and be like, is anybody filming? But now I'm at the YMCA. So,
yeah, no one goes there.
You know,
my gym will have that because I go to Lifetime.
I can't.
I've had it. It's happened.
Really?
I see guys put their cameras, and I look. I'm like, your form's bad, but okay.
I mean, good for them. I think it's cool that people like can make money off of something that is like health and fitness and stuff. But at the same time, I don't know. I see it becoming more of it's more about this than it is about just going to be healthy. Yeah. And like,
but you have the pockets of the good ones. You know,
absolutely. 1,000%.
Before Lifetime, I was part of.
This is why we got Joey Swole on our side.
I was part of Orange Theory.
I love Orange Theory.
Orange Theory is definitely a cult.
Definitely a cult. They're all cults.
But is it bad? Cults. Yeah.
When I decided to leave, because again, I need the weightlifting area because I like to lift weights. So at that point, the most I got was like the dumbbells and the whatever the other side is, not the running side, which I fucking hate running anyway. When I tried to quit,
really,
I was so nice about it. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be ending." They're like, "What do you mean? What do you mean you're no? Why?"
Oh my God.
To the point where the guy who owns this franchise part of it, he hears it across the way. He's like, "Who's leaving? What do you mean you're leaving?" And I'm like, "Yes, I've decided." Can you tell us why? It's like, I found a different gym that provides what I need. They called me for months. Monthly, they would call me.
Okay, that's a cult.
They would call me when
I don't think it
Maria,
is.
I just want to like talk to you about our latest like offers in case you wanted to come back and get a free class just to see because we missed you here.
I think some people within it treated it like a cult. I think some people were able to just do it, but like some people make that their life.
So I think that's just
CrossFit,
that's just the business practice, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just like really aggressive retargeting. That's really aggressive.
But you said at the beginning this, it's how when you try to leave, how they respond is what makes
but in front of everyone. It was in front of like the class that I was with.
You're being nice. You could literally just be like, okay, and walk out.
You have that ability.
I did.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you're not being physically
harmed. Being nice to a human that's trying to talk to you. So you're like trying to abide by like, you know what I mean? Social norms. But like realistically, I blocked their number.
Yeah,
so,
I
did.
did.
You know what I mean? Like at some point, it
sure
is what it is, right?
I
did. We had like a spin studio around here that's called Joyride.
Oh, I've heard of Joyride.
Candy. Fucking love Joyride. Like it was exactly what they said. Like it's kind of like SoulCycle. It mimics SoulCycle, wasn't as culty. Where it was like, you know, they do the big climb at the end and it's like all like, it's like talking about like, you know, your day or, you know what I mean? Like, and I think there is something about this where it's like, it is church to some degree, right? Like you have those 45 minutes where you can turn your brain off and it's just you and your bike. And it's just like you're adjusting the difficulty on your bike. They aren't like, you know what I mean? It is you and your bike and you get those 45 minutes to like really self-reflect and they're giving you these poignant like thoughts. And you know, I like what's bad about
the
that?
Bigger companies.
What is bad about that?
As a consumer, I don't think there's anything bad about it. It's the bigger companies that have all of those scandals. When she was talking about that,
SoulCycle,
yeah, that's
SoulCycle
to me.
Is similar.
Even Peloton, even like
I was
a
talking
lot
about
of
Peloton
these,
next.
A lot of these were
Peloton and SoulCycle similar in the sense that they do that same rhetoric. I think they speak to people a little bit more and they talk more in their rides. So there's a lot more like preaching. They have a little bit more ritual to it. Like I found that to be a little bit more ritualistic. It was like they blow the candle out at the end and it's like you get picked. Like if you are like
sounds so culty.
Yeah, I mean, like they kind of like pick like
do you wear like hoods and you go around it and you go. They
pick like you did the best in the class or you worked the hardest type thing, and it like makes you feel
Peloton
special.
Also has that the leaderboard next to it.
Yeah, like they have the leaderboard. Like so they do these things to like one make you feel like you're in community with each other, but two like to get you to feel special.
Yeah.
Right? Like that you get chosen as the candle blower.
It's tough.
You
it's
feel
a very
special.
tough little line. I enjoy a lot of my spin class at my
I will
gym.
go to Soul Cycle, but I get in and I fucking get out.
It's interesting that you're talking about this because she didn't say this in the book, and I'm curious about it, right? We're talking about language and how important language is. Do you think it's harmful to talk about these things that we think are good and say that they're cults when these really bad things are happening and there's actual cults where people are getting physically harmed and can't leave? Do you think it's like kind of taking, because
it's taking the weight away from the word?
There's a thing happening on TikTok right now. I don't know if you saw, where a girl started, and I'm putting this in quotes, a cult, where she jokingly was like, I want to start a cult, like put an emoji in the captions. And then it spiraled into people being like, this is taking away from, you know, people who are actually dealing with cults. So like, was it the language that was wrong? I don't know.
think cult has ever had a positive connotation.
Right. I agree.
I've never heard, like, I know it does. Like, I know
it did it in its infancy.
I know it doesn't have, like, when we talk about like Soul Cycle being a cult or MLMs being a cult, like those are still negative connotations.
Yeah.
They're kind of thrown
but
out
what
the
about
window.
cult classic?
But
for movies,
that's still a crazy fan.
I wouldn't put it that way.
I think it is.
The Princess Bride is a cult classic.
Yeah, it's a crazy group of fans that think this movie's good. That's like might not be
that
good.
is true. It kind of is.
That's like what the definition of cult following is like this movie.
I didn't take it like that.
This movie bombed at the box office or was not good at release, and there's a group of people who think it's really good that don't agree with. But that's what I'm saying. It's still a negative connotation to it.
Which it shouldn't. I don't think.
It's not, but that's what I'm saying. Like when you're talking about fitness stuff, like I don't necessarily think it's bad, but it still has a negative connotation.
I think the bad one would be the ones like CrossFit, that example of people just get hurt.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do CrossFit.
I've always hated.
Me too.
But
I love watching the CrossFit games. I like seeing the guys, but I don't do it.
Yeah.
I've never done it.
Done it once.
I've done the workouts, but I've never been to a CrossFit class. But anyways, I think there's a lot of words that we have diluted.
Yeah.
I think harm, I think canceled, some of those
gaslighting, like you said.
gaslighting, some of these words I think we have diluted to a point where like the actual definition no longer exists.
No longer has the weight it had.
Yeah, it doesn't have the weight.
Yeah.
Cults to me has always been negative.
Yeah.
So I like, you know what I mean? It's always been a heavy word.
Yeah.
So when you say it in any connotation that is like this, like Scientology or religion, like is a cult, that to me is like, this is real shit.
Yeah.
I've never not taken it seriously.
I think we'd be amiss not to talk about stan culture and how
scary.
Taylor Swift. That's the biggest one right now. And I think like another question, is it bad to be one of these Swifties and in the cult?
I think it's bad in how you act to those outside of it.
Yeah. But some of them treat each other, like some of them are good and positive, but I've seen people get shit on just for saying like one negative thing about this person.
Yeah. That's where I think
it's
it's a problem. For those who are in that community and they're enjoying their time, they're enjoying their concerts, cool. But when you have a problem with somebody even mentioning her name in the wrong way,
but that's what they talked about.
That's where it's like
that's what they talked about in like Children of God and these other cults. You're not allowed to say bad things.
Isn't it wild?
And if you do, then you get like, reprimanded for it. Mm-hmm. So, following kind of like what's happening in the worser of the scale of cults, like, yeah, I would put Taylor Swift on the worser. I would put like a Soul Cycle. Yes, I know there's some like controversies about like how their instructors have done like sexual harassment and shit like that. That's fucking messy as hell. So I don't even want to get into that. But I would put like the Soul Cycles and even some of the MLMs I would even put in this like not as harmful range. Like some of the other ones where you buy in like the true pyramid schemes, I think you would put them on the harsher end. But like I would put Taylor's in the middle.
I would too.
And I would put like the Beehive in there.
Beyonce in there. I was about to say, because you call it Beyonce's
Taylor's,
internet.
though, they're like fucking deciphering code and like doing these things to try to figure out the next thing she's doing. It's just like the things.
They're mean.
It's wild we put this one person on such a pedestal and it's like,
It's wild that we put this person on a pedestal who literally takes up such a large fucking carbon footprint.
I know. I just don't. I don't
who
understand.
the fuck is this?
It's
bitch?
the people too that are like, eat the rich, and then there's a rich person that they're giving all of their money to. I just, I don't. I'll never.
But
ever,
then they'll
ever
turn around.
That.
There's no ethical billionaire.
They'll turn around. They'll say, "You wouldn't." She does so much for women. She does X, Y, and Z.
She pays her bus drivers
so much money and all that. Yes, that's what that's going to happen. They don't. They don't care. They're always going to find a justification.
That's amazing.
Right.
There's no ethical billionaire.
No, there's not. Thank you. That's what I've been trying to say forever. And then they're like, well, she's one of the good ones.
I'll stand
but
on
also,
it.
but then they get mad at her when like one year she's randomly super political, and then all of a sudden,
right,
she's no longer that political anymore. And then she's
releasing an album.
But then she's releasing an album, and she's hanging out with people who are part of the the administration that no one likes.
I don't understand how we get to stan culture, and it's something I'll never understand. Is just putting.
Can we talk about how it's called stan culture? Thanks to Eminem.
Yeah, thanks.
That's a crazy thing that people probably have no fucking clue about.
Yeah, they probably don't get it.
I didn't. It took me a while to even figure that out.
Have you ever been close to? Not close.
Being in a cult?
No. My question is. What are the instances of where you were in the room? I know we talked about yours. Mm-hmm. In the room for a cult. And you were like, ooh, no, gotta abort, gotta run.
Church.
Church is one.
I went to a job interview one time in the city where, I don't know if it was a cult, but it was like I don't even know if it was an MLM even, but like, it was basically like going door to door, like trying to sell makeup.
Oh.
And like
Mary Kay or
no,
Avon?
because it wasn't like there was no brand. There was no like company name.
Oh.
It was super sketchy. They brought you they had like 15 people there, and it was supposed to be a single interview. They kept me all fucking day. I didn't know how to leave. Like I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I was like terrified of like what was going on. We're like doing these weird exercises. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing this. And at the end, like we're in a big conference room, and the main guy is super like attractive and like a good talker and everything. And he's like, so what do you guys all think? Like, how do you like, and all these people are like, yeah, like great. Like, whatever. And like slowly people like he like asks people individually, like what they think. And he does not ask me. Huh. So I couldn't leave until the very end. And then so this fucking, after 6 hours of being in this fucking interview, weird ass thing, it's just me and this guy in this conference room. And he's like, what? Tell me what you're thinking. And I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever done. Like, I was like, you guys are a big ass scam, and I don't know what the fuck this is, but like, I'm out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
And he was like, I could tell you were not like vibing with this. Like,
so you're the last one.
Yep.
Because you don't want to poison the water.
I didn't want anybody to hear me say what I was gonna fucking say.
That's a good one. What do you got? I know you got a couple.
I think 2.
Ooh.
So when I used to be an intern in the city.
Hold on 1 second.
What?
I was, as people were like agreeing with all of it, I was like, I saw my face too. Sorry.
You're like, excuse me, what?
Like, I was like,
excuse me, what?
Like, how are these people buying
Some
into
of
this?
us can't hide our face.
I no longer have a poker face. Yeah. I'm very bad at hiding my emotions now. But it was like, I was fresh out of college. I was in my first internship in the city. And I think he was like, the other intern. I had just met him, yada, yada. And we had each other on Facebook, I think. And he, in a lot of pictures, had this sign. It was like, you should be here.
Oh, no.
Which a lot of vacations.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
It was a blue and white sign.
Okay.
You should be here. And I made the mistake of asking, what's this about? Like, what do you mean? Why are you guys holding these signs everywhere? He goes, I would love to tell you more about it. Let's go have dinner.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And so when she's telling this in the book about how like, boss babe, I can't tell you too much right now through text. Let's have a call.
Yes.
These ones?
Yes.
Let me see.
Now, I can't say if this is a cult at all or an MLM. I never went farther.
Oh.
I went to lunch with him, or it was like a dinner thing after work. And he explained the whole premise.
It is an MLM.
He explained the whole premise. And it's like, we get to go on trips. A bunch of bullshit.
Yep. Cruises.
But you have to go and you have to take these pictures. You have to do, I can't, honestly, right now, I can't remember the whole stuff. I blacked it out.
Yep.
But I specifically remember this moment because I was like, that's a cult.
You just know.
That's an MLM.
What was the other one?
Herbalife.
Really?
So that's another one that's like Tupperware.
I have a family member.
Okay.
They have good product though.
I have a family member that is constantly in one.
Uh-huh.
She's constantly in some kind of
scheme
of some sort.
Gimmick.
Some product she's selling, some weight loss things, often weight loss things. And so I had started having Herbalife when I was younger, before college, through her.
Oh.
I didn't know about the MLM stuff, yada, yada. I got to college and I had heard about them doing an event and then you get a free Herbalife from it.
Sure.
At the time I was gaining the college 15 and I was like, oh, I remember my aunt had these to lose weight. Let me go see this event.
No.
I sit in this Herbalife place and they do the whole spiel.
Oh no.
You join in, you buy this, and then you get someone else to come in. The whole spiel.
Such an MLM.
And I sat there, I go, this shit ain't right. And they did the same thing with that. I was like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Would you like to join? I was like, I gotta go talk to my dad because I need the money to do it, but let me get back to you. And I dipped.
So she talks about this in the book where she talks about how we've had to develop a new system of thinking when social media
System 1
came.
and System 2, yeah.
So the system 1, which was you're talking to your family members, whatever, you trust these people. So you're more inclined to just be now with social media and all these things, we have to develop this new system of thinking of just being okay, why does that sound not okay and scammy? And all I could think was just man, it's exhausting to be alive in the age of social media. And people saying this back in the day, during the Industrial Revolution or all these things where there's this is bad. And then all these people now being see how good it was. I disagree. I think that we've just exhausted ourselves. And now it's just going to get worse with AI.
I know it's going to get a lot worse.
It's going to get bad.
And people are going to fall for more things.
I'm already so skeptical. Everything I see, I don't trust.
I don't trust anything. Not on social media.
There was one line in this book that I really, really liked, and it was, a cult is like porn, when you hear it.
She opened the book with that quote, and then it went back to later in the book.
Yeah. So I was like,
let me see. I highlighted a couple things.
That is exactly what it is. And you know what? To kind of turn back to I've bought Herbalifes, I've bought Isogenics, I've bought
LuLaRoe, baby.
LuLaRoe.
That's where I get my
I've bought if you've ever done a sex party, those are MLMs.
Yeah.
Our old coworker tried to get me to go to one of those.
I had a friend that was always on a cruise. She was like, "Oh, if you join this, you'll be on a cruise with me." Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so the Beachbody one was pretty intense for a really long time.
Yeah, fitness may be the new religion, but instructions
the life coaching.
I actually almost did the.
That was the thing.
Damn. Okay, Beachbody. My friend Tina was in the Beachbody thing, and I had the fucking thing sent to me, the protein or whatever. Too. Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot.
We have been.
I forgot
at the doorstep of many.
I forgot. Wow, that one really just threw me back. Damn, good one.
There, but again, buying the product is different than selling the product.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or being a coach of a thing. And she talked a lot about in this book of how people get into these things and why it's so easy to fall for stuff. She touched on Scientology, how it was her friend wanted to do an acting class and took a class with Scientology.
Their
and then
first
it was
classes are very
introductory and helpful. And then as you go along, it's more and more and more. And then you can't back out. And then you're going to lose money or you know what I mean?
And then you learn about the aliens and you're like, well, shit, I have to learn more.
Yeah. So they just keep you hooked and hooked. I never understood how people get hooked into MLMs. Cause I'm once
it's the get rich thing.
I know, but once beginning maybe 15 years ago when they first started, Beachbody was a new thing. I just don't know how in 2025.
Yeah.
I know. I still don't understand.
She explained it. The immigrant, it's the working mom. It's not the people that are actually trying to get rich quick. It's the people that are just trying to figure it out and make some money.
But I'm just what an MLM is.
It sounds easy. They make it sound so simple.
Yes.
You know what an MLM is.
Some people don't.
Some people truly don't.
Yeah. Some people don't.
You should at this point.
And then they start to
You're
figure it out.
more educated than most.
I know. True. And that also
some
made
people
me
aren't even online. And then they get online and they're like, ooh.
You know what's fucking crazy was when she was for the cult stuff, when she was there is no, this was one thing that I also was I don't believe this, was I want to look it up. When she was there's no differentiating factor that makes you more susceptible to be recruited into a cult. And I was I
don't believe that.
I don't believe that one. She was they look for smart people. They look for X, Y, and Z. I was
we need more research on that then, because I bet there's a part of the brain scientifically that I think about this with religion too, like people who fully believe in God versus people who just can't grasp that. I think there's something with our brains. There has to be
something.
I really do. Like there has to be something.
I think it's that, but also your life experience. What you go through really affects like how you were raised.
Because she talks about that too, where it was like, you would think people who are like raised in a cult, that's all they know, right? We always give them a little bit of grace where we're like, it's all they know, it's all they know. But she was saying,
that girl from Educated.
That, like, there is like scientific proof that like sometimes that doesn't matter. There is a part of the brain that goes, that still questions things. So I don't know. I think there's more.
It gets silenced fast. And if you don't know how to not let it get silenced, that's when you get stuck.
Right. But I thought it was interesting though that she did say like there are instances where people still are questioning.
Yeah. Overall, it was like a very interesting book. I think
it's a great 101.
I think the language side of it is the most important.
Yeah. I personally have always loved true crime. So I love things cults like NXIVM. I was deep in looking all that stuff up when it was like really
I can't
popping
believe some
off.
Of this shit.
Like that's a very interesting.
I don't know what that was.
Children of God is like fucking
NXIVM,
crazy.
There's an HBO documentary series. It's called The Vow. If you want to see it, essentially, this one man, Keith Raniere, made himself seem like this freaking genius.
Yeah,
and of course that flocks people to him who think he's amazing. He's doing these courses to teach you good things. And then he had like a second in command lady who also helped with courses. And it got big. There are actors that I know of that are in that. It turned into, there was a whole side sex cult run by some of the women that he was personally like sleeping with. And they got branded.
Damn.
Like they were branding women with his initials.
It's just so hard to conceptualize like these things.
The thing is, like you see it and you think it and you're like, that would never be me. But some people they fall.
I think people just want to be part of a community, man.
I do too.
They just want to feel something and be connected and also be told what to do.
Did they ever do anything on Jared Leto?
No, but there's rumblings.
Everyone thinks he's a cult leader.
He's a cult leader.
Because
really?
Like people who are fans of like 30 Seconds to Mars, which is his band, they've done like a bunch of like private island retreats, and they're like $6,000 to $10,000 to go on the island, and like it's all very secretive. Nobody really knows everything.
Something to happen with him
eventually.
At some point, yeah.
I would say I would give it a couple, like maybe 20 years, but I think it eventually. I think it's gonna hit.
Here's some cults that I think are wild that you wouldn't necessarily think. MAGA, Disney adults.
Disney's crazy.
There's just so many random ones that I'm like, that could be a cult.
MAGA's...
What do you mean that could be a cult? It's definitely a cult. What?
But is it bad?
MAGA's kind of interesting because I saw a review. Like I said, I looked at the reviews for this one and I really couldn't understand some of them. Like somebody was like, I can't believe that she brought up Trump like 42 times. I was like, I don't think it was 42.
But it was like 4.
That seems like aggressive amount of times. And I didn't have the physical book to like do the count.
It was 4.
Yeah. And I was like,
4 or 5.
I think it's banana land crazy to write a book within the last 15 years and not mention MAGA.
Yeah.
Especially if you're talking about cults and the influence that cults have and stuff like that. Trump is a clear delineation.
A whole fucking section on MAGA.
Yeah.
Yep.
She probably didn't want to get sued.
She probably didn't want to get sued or like, too much shit for it, but like that's a fucking real ass cult that like
she touched on QAnon.
Concerning.
I don't understand
People
QAnon.
don't know that QAnon. I didn't know QAnon was MAGA.
I was going to say, is QAnon
MAGA.
left or right? I don't know.
No, I think it started.
It didn't start with just Trump.
No, I think it did. No.
It was before. It was something different.
No, it started.
It started off.
Ago.
Years ago.
She talks about it at the end of the book.
This is before Trump.
It was called like.
But they've added. They've been. Watch the Q documentary on HBO.
I want to watch that
because they go into the people who created it.
QAnon is one of them that like I don't that one I cannot believe. Like the shit that they believe in is.
It originated in 2017.
What QAnon?
But it came QAnon is a far-right American political conspiracy.
Okay, but
theory.
I think one of the places it started was 4chan.
Yeah, I think you're right. Trump movement.
I think it was a MAGA person though.
I think you're right.
Could be. Either way, watch documentary because they definitely go into the whole history.
I did not know that.
QAnon, Disney adults are really crazy.
Anti-vaxxers.
Is that a cult?
Yes.
Or is that like a delineation for cults?
It's the what do they call them? Like the healing, the people who think
holistic.
Like, the people who think holistic. Like that's definitely a cult.
Yeah.
People who are completely anti big pharma and they think that they're trying to kill their kids. There's so many interesting ones that.
It's a big tree. There's a lot of branches.
That's why I was saying like community versus cults and stuff. It's just, I think it comes down to the harm.
Yeah.
I do too.
I'm always seeing things that get like popping off and I'm like, oh, that feels, I was gonna say another one that's sort of like, I talked to Sophia a lot about this because we love cult stuff.
Yeah.
And we have this saying, it started with her and her husband, but I've joined in. It's the, I can't get got. Right? So there's this woman on Instagram that I came across at one point. I think her name is Lizzie and she lives in Mexico City. And it's like that, very holistic, very like new age. And she does these like long Instagram stories where she's sort of like diving into the psyche of the mind and like the ways to explain it, I can't even give the right wording for it. But I go to Sophia, I'm like, Sophia, I almost got because she speaks in such a cadence.
Yeah.
People.
One thing she said that like, I told Sophia, she goes, are you fucking kidding me? It was like, when you walk into a room, if your energy is off, you're going to feel that.
Yeah.
Like they're so convincing.
And I go to Sophia, I'm like, she's right. If I walk into a room and I'm mad, I'm going to feel that. She goes, Maria, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, you're right. I had to stop watching her.
It's
but she
like
does.
Shit,
but
though.
Trump's the
She
same
does a
way.
whole,
He's so
like,
good at tapping into people.
You know who else?
He's so good
Let
at
them.
it.
Cult. They're getting
yeah.
tattoos.
What was the verbiage she said where it was like thought stopping? Like, do you remember when she was talking about like thoughts or like
Who?
in
Cultish?
this book? Yeah, she was like talking about like conversation
Thought traps?
conversation
That's
stopping
therapy, never
like
mind.
phrases where it's like she talked about like I just turned my brain off for this,
Yes.
or like I wasn't thinking about it, like they just like it stops the conversation from like progressing. I was thinking about that with like book talk because that like I feel like a lot of people use those types of like phrases to stop conversations.
You have to do your own research thing.
Yeah,
do your
like,
own research. That's a good one.
like it's just like it like stops all conversation from progressing to like get you to just shut the fuck up.
Right.
Yeah, so you don't think deeper.
Yeah.
Wild.
Do your own research is an interesting one because it like puts the onus back onto you to like.
But like their idea of research is you going down the same rabbit holes that they're going down. They want you to come to the same conclusion.
Yeah, but
Anytime
you're not like explaining that.
Every time somebody goes, do your own research, they really just want you to come to their
instead of you like asking real
Informing your
questions
own
that
opinions.
like yeah, you know what I mean.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah,
We
we're
could
at an
talk about-
hour.
I think we could talk about this forever.
Literally
I genuinely
forever.
do.
I again really fucking love this book and I think it's a great like 101.
I'm so
liked it.
happy we read it.
Yeah, I liked it. I think the structure.
What did you give it?
I would give it like probably a 3.5.
Oh,
I didn't rate it.
It was all right.
I have trouble doing this. I have trouble rating
There was a
like
lot of times I
nonfiction
kinda
books because
checked
it's
out.
like I don't know.
The MLM was too much. It was too long.
see, like I found
But
that
you
to be
liked this.
fascinating.
Yeah. I don't care.
Interesting. No, I like cult. I think I would have just stuck to the true crime cults because I like those,
think
like
cults
the
just-
Mansons, the Jonestowns.
See, like that just makes me sad. I don't know. Like
yeah,
all
but
of
I get
those-
interested in that kind of like criminal psyche. Like what makes a person go not from just like trying to recruit others to sell things, but to go as far as murder.
I think that's why we watch these things. I think the reason we like true crime and we like these types of things, and not even like, but are intrigued by them, is just because we put ourselves into those positions.
Yeah.
Like how does somebody get to there? If that was me, what would this be?
The Jonestown one freaks me out because it's like he killed himself too.
yeah.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
'Cause
it's
he
like
didn't wanna
he must have been so.
they were coming for him.
Well, that, but like you have to be so like probably drinking your own Kool-Aid to be like,
Yeah.
I am the chosen. Like
They
I
have
think at
to,
a point,
yes.
like I
It's a delusion
I
that's
feel the
a whole
same
different
way
level.
about Trump. I don't think he started out the way that he is right now. Like I think he has like started to believe
Well, once
all
all
of
these
the
people are
crazy
telling
things.
you these things
Well, that's what I mean.
over
Like
and
I think he started to believe his lies. I think he started to believe like, and I don't want to say I was a Trump fan pre 2016. I like Trump. Like I thought he was funny. I thought he was funny on the fucking
before he got into politics.
like Apprentice. I know he was kind of an asshole, but like I thought he
Him
was
fighting
a funny,
Vince was funny to me.
Yeah, like I thought he was a funny like celebrity. You
I didn't know
what mean?
anything
And-
about
Because that's what he was,
I
a
knew
celebrity.
nothing.
And
about
when
him.
he did his campaign, I like, I wasn't like I understood why people voted for him. It wasn't like that fucking crazy to me. And like over time, I feel like he's gotten crazier and crazier and crazier.
I also
and,
think
like,
whoever's he has near him that's like in his ear
Yep.
is making it even worse.
but he just like feeds his own delusions at this
Yeah,
point. And
'cause
I
he's
think that's the
senile.
same. But I'm saying like
Same with
we don't
celebrities.
see this with other cult leaders, but we're seeing it real time with our president. So I think it's the same thing. Like when you start believing your own,
when you feed
lies.
somebody's ego, their ego is going to become them. It's the same with certain celebrities that go off the rails because
they get this
you have people
power
worshiping
and the sad thing is that he's a president. It's a level of power
it's like untapped power of like,
and it's he's getting respect in rooms without trying.
Yeah,
you get to just walk in and gain respect.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And like the same thing with, I think, online celebrities and like influencers. Like that's how you get like, you know, there's a lot of people that talk about like influencers being assholes at events and like this and the other.
Oh yeah,
like they're all inflated
I had this
egos.
many followers. You better let me have this for free.
Yep. Yeah, like all these crazy like inflated egos that you're just like,
stop worshiping people.
That's what I don't understand. Why do we worship all these
idols?
Why
goes back to the Bible.
But like, why do we keep
fascinating
like complimenting people?
I don't know. I'm going to pass the question off to our viewers. Why do we
and
worship
listeners, because this is an audio medium.
All right,
why do people like us?
Question of the day. Question of the day. Have you ever been in a cult? Almost been part of a cult? And how do you feel about cults in general? Do you think there could be good ones and then there could be bad ones? Let us know. Go over to our Instagram. That's books_n_Betches.
Join our cult.
CHES.
Join our cult.
Join our Discord if you want to.
That's our cult.
Or
join our Discord.
Or subscribe to us on... She's never on
Never
works. Thank you so much for being here. We love you so much. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.